Now, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing two professors who are going to spend a few minutes each telling us and telling you about the two major elements in the garden. The physical elements that symbolize different issues and landmarks in Syria, and then they will present the impression and narration about the texts that you see. This is a garden, but it's made like an open museum. There's a lot of material of education there. So my first presentation is going to be Dr. Nasser Rabat, who's Aga Khan Professor of Islamic Architecture at the MIT in Massachusetts. Very nationally renowned speaker, and he is going to be one of the main speakers at the symposium in the museum. So take a glimpse now and join us at the museum.
Thank you, Wael. Coming from Boston and looking at all of you here, I feel like I'm at home. So thank you for being here and for actually giving us this feeling of homeliness. I want to actually take you on a trip down the steps. History cascaded in Syria, started from the beginning of history. At this point in time, there are about 3 or 4 archaeological missions working on digs in Syria that are going to change our idea about when were the first human settlements built in Syria, but when? I mean, how much back in time do we go? And if you look at the steps, perhaps actually they represent this coming down all the way to the present, which is behind the first row here and in front of the cameras. I would like you to, since we are all now used to, digitally imagine for yourself what's happening as we're coming down. What are the stages of historical development in Syria? Some of the first city-states developed in Syria in conjunction with the city-states in Mesopotamia. The whole idea of structuring human society developed in Syria. We have the city of Mary, we have a few other new cities, and we have, of course, the cities of the Phoenicians on the coast, which not only developed the first political structure, but also the first alphabet. And that's the city of Ugarit in Syria. I would like you to imagine them as you're coming down to perhaps one of the greatest Syrian cities of all stages, and that is Palmyra. And we have here the Arch of Palmyra, the triumphal Arch of Palmyra. Palmyra is a city that made the desert green in a way. It's an oasis city that created an empire, and it was led by a woman, one perhaps of the most powerful women rulers in history is the Syrian queen Zenobia, who probably in her own time, at the beginning of the 3rd century, strutted on her horse under an arch similar to this one, coming into her city in triumphal processions. And actually, unfortunately, in a tragic procession going out when Rome, with all of its might, crushed the Syrian independence led in Palmyra by Queen Zenobia. But the arch reminds us of that great heritage, that great moment in history in which Syria was the center of a mercantile empire, a peaceful empire that secured the trade routes coming from the Indian Ocean and leading to the Mediterranean. Coming down, we go through what is now actually an assembly of the future, but one would have to imagine it as an assembly of the people sitting together making decisions about their future. Hopefully that will be the future of Syria as well. And behind us in here, we do have the fountain, the symbol of water, the fountain that you will find in every Syrian house, in every big Syrian city, in Aleppo, in Damascus. Water that for centuries, for the Syrians who depended very much on water, was called Rahma, mercy. The peasants of Syria would call water mercy. And for us, the symbol of water in here is decidedly something that reflects on how Syria, being in a semi-arid climate, managed to create a civilization that has lasted not 1,500 years, it's now probably about 11 to 12,000 years of civilizational presence in Syria. And surrounding your fountain in here, you have a reminder of the importance of geometry, of mathematical thinking, of ornamentation, in the articulation of a vision, of an artistic vision that Syria has been a center for, and that is Syria having been the first center of the Islamic civilization under the Umayyads that have created the marvels of Islamic architecture, which you will hear about this afternoon. So I will stop here so that I will entice you to come and continue the journey this afternoon. Thank you.